Hello, my friends, and welcome back to RC Rugged Roach. So, I recently posted my last project. It kind of got away from me. Time did anyway. As far as getting that posted, I apologize. I had a lot going on. However, I am ready to start yet another project. Yeah, I can't leave these things alone. So, what I've been contemplating and talking about with Anna is possibly building a volcano or some type of mountainous area in the back that's a little more steep, a little more challenging for my Mias Ripper, because that little thing's a beast, even with mostly stock gearing and motor and ESC of the Traxxas TRX 4M. So anyway, I'm going to try to do a better job of doing a more step by step for you guys. That'll include showing shots of more of the putting an insulation foam on, building things up, and this time I'm going to try to include some of my painting. Now, let me say up front, I am not an artist, okay? I'm just winging it. I'm just a guy who has a vision or gets a vision, and as you saw in my last one, that changed. This one here in front of you was supposed to match the one on the left, which was supposed to be mud and rock. But you know, variety's good, a challenge is good, and Anna said, hey, why not try something different? Let's do some lava. So I did it, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. So what I'm hoping to do is just kind of continue that theme. Now the backdrop is a tapestry that I bought on Temu. I did find another one that I like. It's going to be from Amazon, and it's an actual volcanic scene. So you have an exploding volcano, you have flowing lava, and I think it's going to piece together real well with this. We'll just kind of probably block off that one there, just put it over it, so when I move, it'll all still be easy to take down and reuse. So anyway, stick around and we will start this together, and hopefully I do a better job of doing a step-by-step as well as getting this posted in a timely manner. All right, guys, let's get this thing rolling. All right, so here we are now. I've got most of it boxed in, fixed up. I'm going to have like 3 different levels to drive on. The very top, you can go across the volcano, one there just in front of the cave, and then down where you see the egg crates will be another level for trucks that may not be upgraded yet and struggle to get up the hills. Anyways, I'm going to try doing some foam now. Doesn't mean that I'm done with the cardboard or filling in. I've got 2 big holes there down at the bottom that I may try to put some kind of effect or something in there, either some lighting to make it look like lava behind the rocks, or if I can find maybe some little stone statues or something to put there. But anyway, it's still a work in progress, and I am curious to see how this is going to turn out. Alright, so here we are with even more changes. The original boxes that you saw in the last clip are still there. However, I'm filling in some more. Now, I don't have everything glued down yet, like these egg cartons in the front. That blue box on top, which will serve as the top of the volcano, which I'm going to try to make some special things happening with that to give it some nice effects. You'll want to see that down the road. However, I haven't glued it down yet because, as you can see, there's a black line across the bottom, right across where that 3 is that I wrote on there. And that's because I may have to lower that original height down to 2 or 3 inches simply to get the angles right after I put the foam. So I didn't nail that down yet. I try to keep in mind that changes are going to happen. So, the foundation I can glue down, but anything that may alter the angle at the ultimate part at the top, I need to leave that open, adjustable, etc. So anyway, over here, you can see I've got it marked and kind of made a cut there. I'm going to, obviously have that tie into that piece over there by building like an incline there, and then you'll be able to turn up and go over. Now this wide piece of cardboard here, I don't need that wide of an area for the crawlers to go up. I can trim that down when I'm ready. I'm just giving myself options. I don't want to run into a problem. As you get into building these things, you start learning that, maybe I shouldn't have glued that down, or maybe I should have left that wider for now till I got this area done. So you kind of learn as you do it. But the great thing about this is don't be afraid to jump in there and try it, because anything can be corrected. It's just a little bit of hot glue holding these boxes right now, and I can just pull it up and re-glue it somewhere else. Even if you finish it out, it's like this piece here, it's okay. I've got a piece here I'll show you. It's actually wider than I needed, so these rocks stick out on either side, and to be able to slide it under my table for storage, I needed to trim that off. It's no big deal. I just took a knife to it, cut it off, and then I will re-plaster cloth it and repaint it to match. So that's the great thing about this hobby and building crawler courses with foam and plaster cloth and stuff is It's not really a big deal. You can fix it, uh, change it up, alter it, whatever you want to do. So again, don't be afraid to be creative, try things out, and I'm sure that this is going to change even more. But I said I would try to do a better job of showing you guys how I do it, what I'm thinking, etc. And I'm trying to do a better job at that. Anyway, stay tuned, and we will get back with you. Hopefully, the next time I get with you, I'll have all the cardboard laid out and ready to foam. Alright, so here we are with all the foam on there now. I also went ahead and put my volcano tapestry backdrop up there, which continues down on this front piece here. To me, it looks very cohesive. It looks very nice. I hope you guys like it as well. I know some of you are into, as real as possible, even on indoor courses, trying to bring the outdoors inside. And I have an appreciation for that as well. But as you've probably seen from my course, I like to have fun with it, be creative. It kind of serves two purposes for me, getting my creativity out, plus giving me a pretty cool course to crawl on. So you may be wondering what's up with the holes here on the volcano, and I don't have the top round yet and all that. So I've got this flame up here. There will be a light installed in here that will shine out of the cave there and shoot light out the flames on top. And I'm considering putting a lava dragon there, just to kind of give it a little extra personality, have a little fun with it. Now here, I am going to put lights down here as well, and then I will put some texture and stuff to make it blend more with the volcano, but I've got to take those two panels out. I've got to cut out the middle there and install the lighting, run the wiring out the back and all of that. So this is coming together very nicely. I just wanted to let you see what it looks like with most of the foam work done. Of course I've got to shave it. You can see over here I've done a little shaving here. Try to bring that off. Now I can take that piece, carve it up to make it look more natural, and put it on the existing piece if I need to kind of help make that angle, especially for the smaller SCX24 Jeep JLU, because the bumper, sits lower than the TRX 4Ms, obviously. And anyway, it's coming together very nicely. Stay right here with me, and we will keep watching this thing through to the end. I think it's going to turn out really nice, and I appreciate you continuing to watch. Alright, so in my quest to be more detail-oriented as far as explaining to you how I think and how I do things, it's a lot about experimenting. So as you see here at the bottom, there's three panels there, left, middle, and right. I'm going to be putting lights behind that to make it look like glowing lava or some heat going on. It's going to have a cool effect. But here's where I started experimenting. What you see there, those white foam panels, were just out of an Amazon packing box. So at first I was going to use acrylic and maybe like some vinyl flame decals, but it washed out. So then I tried painting just a thin sheet of acrylic. No good. But this foam works incredibly well. But it wasn't as simple as just painting it. I'm going to take you to the table and I will explain what I came up with and how I came about it. Give me one moment. Alright, so here we are at the table, and I bought these two lights right here, column lights, and I have a third one as well, but it's a little bit different. So I bought these at Five Below for like $5, okay? They come with the remote, then you can change colors, like you typically can with your LED light sets. Nice little remote, things like that. What I started noticing, the reason I decided not to use the flame print vinyl like this here, is because it just washed out. This is just on a piece of cardboard, but when I put it on acrylic, it would wash out with any colors. Now, I thought that I would want to go with a red or some variant of orange or yellow. The camera's not exactly showing that very well. However, just trust me, it wasn't working very well. What I actually discovered was to rely on my paint more and use these just solely as white lights. So here is some experimenting I had done, and you see it just doesn't work out well. That's the acrylic. Now, I could have put the paint on heavier, kept layering it, but I played around. I tried hot glue on that to see how that would work. You can see a little bit there in the middle. It's too shiny. Lava is not shiny. So that foam that I was speaking of, sorry, I keep bumping my tripod. Anyway, here's the foam, and I tried out some different things with it. So now, if you look here and here, you will see the glue, hot glue, over the paint. So what I did was I put down a layer of paint, and I put hot glue. Now this hot glue made this foam bubble and stuff, which gave it kind of a neat effect. However, it was kind of drawing the paint into the glue. It was leaving some white in the foam. It wasn't looking good. So my solution to that was, after I put the hot glue on there, this is just sloppy work, guys. I was just trying to see where we're at quickly. Then I painted over the hot glue. And now it's not such a bad effect. It actually works out pretty good. Now I am going to have to layer, as you can see on the left, I didn't layer it very heavy. The light shines through except for in the middle. Over here I put a little heavier, and then I did the hot glue, and then I painted over the hot glue. Now again, it will look a lot better when I do these panels and take my time and do it right. I was just trying to find a quick solution so that I can make some progress. I hope this is a neat little tip to you guys. You know, maybe people ask me, why do you keep packing foam? Why do you keep the paper? Why do you do it? Well, it's for my arts and crafts. I mean, it will come in handy. You can find uses. I've had this foam for a while, and I was just going to use it to kind of be a filler on the course. But then I got the idea of trying to make lava panels, which I think it's going to look good. Stay tuned. We'll see how that turns out. All right, so here we are. Any of you guys who've built courses know you've got to check, test, test. Anyway, so there's the foam that I've just thrown some paint on. It's not been painted fully yet or anything. Just kind of testing things out, making sure that foam fits in the slots and everything. And then the top volcano. And I have that piece of cardboard that I showed earlier with the vinyl flame sticker on it. You see, it just kind of washes out. Also have it on top. Now that's on a piece of acrylic. And yeah, I mean, it'll work because there's going to be foam building a circle to make it look more realistic, like a volcano would be, or at least what our minds tell us it should look like. Anyway, I mean, all my lights are working, which is a plus. I can change colors and test it, you know, once I get all this painted, foamed in, because I'll have to foam this to where it looks more natural. These cardboard things will be hidden with, like, maybe some lava rock look anyway. So anyway, just testing, checking, and all my lights seem to be working fine. Got them hot glued in a little bit to hold them steady if I have to move the course. Anyway, things are moving forward. Alright, after shooting that last segment, I decided to try out this flame and play around with the lighting some more, and I'm going with this. I like it better. Still experimenting with up here, but you can see the flames are showing much better. Running low on this vinyl sticker flames, you can kind of see I had to half it there. That doesn't mean that that's my finished, completed idea, but yeah, I gotta do something with the inside of that instead of having the brown box, etc. But as you can see, like I was telling you earlier, you know, it's about experimentation and finding what you like the most. And you know, I like the different lighting here. Those two column lights are on the right and left, and then actually what is in the middle is I had some shelf lighting that some of my colors were going out, so I took it off of my shelves, wrapped it around a nice square, tried not to overlap, etc., and I'm using that in there. I have ventilation in the back to keep it from overheating. LEDs don't let out a lot of heat anyway, so hopefully we'll be all right, but I do have that ventilated in the back. Got a nice hole in the back to allow that. Anyway, this is actually going to turn out pretty good. Oops, so I just bumped that. It fell. I don't have it in place yet because I still haven't decided if I'm going to try to get some more vinyl that matches that or what I want to do. Alright, here we are now with it all carved up. I've got some shop towels over areas that I don't want to get paint, and I'll also use some cardboard as a shield as I paint. I'm going to put a base coat of black on this so that when I put plaster cloth on, this white foam and yellow foam won't shine through. I have cut me some ideas. You can see marker where I am planning to do lava overflow coming down, cutting little canyons, and then coming off the end there. I've got a few of those throughout. Alright, so I forgot to actually shoot a short video of the black paint that I had put as an undercoat. I will try to enclose a picture when I do editing of how that looks. I didn't cut up all of the little ripples that the spray foam makes, but you can see that it does still leave some nice details, some nice terrain. That doesn't mean that I can't go back and add some more, like I may add some boulders as you're climbing to where you, at least one side of your vehicle has to try to go over that without slipping, make it a little more steep and challenging, because I started off worried about making this too steep and ended up making it not steep enough in some areas for my upgraded vehicles. Such as my Mias TRX 4M, and it's not really upgraded a whole lot. It's just that it has such a low center of gravity that it climbs really well with the Endura 1.3 wheels on there. The Jeep JLU Wrangler SCX24 with the Hyrex tires do pretty good on it as well. Now again, I will do some testing, looking for areas that just seem way too simple. I actually have this Volcano sitting forward on the front table. It'll be in the back once I get all this done. You can see there's still canyons, there's still, texture, rock formation type look there that you have to kind of climb over. I made sure to push the plaster cloth down into each little section. I'll try to zoom in and see if it translates well on camera. If you see the little holes, you now see black through it instead of the white foam or the yellow foam shining through, and that's just going to make it easier and look better when I actually do the painting on this. I won't have to worry about all of the white shining through, especially with it being a black volcanic scene. It really will help out. Shout out to my son Jonah for giving me the insight to do that. He's into doing dioramas and art himself, and he understands mine has to be a functional diorama, so to speak, as a crawler course. Anyway, we'll get back with you guys when we do some more detail work on this.